Hei, mitt navn er Leon, og jeg vil snakke med dere i dag om noe som har vært i tankene mine lenge. Jeg er en transperson. Så lenge jeg kan huske, har jeg følt at jeg har levd i feil kropp. Jeg har alltid følt at jeg var ment til å være et annet kjønn, men det har tatt meg lang tid å forstå og akseptere med dette av meg selv. Det har vært en reise, og det er en jeg fortsatt er på. Men jeg føler at nå er tiden inne for å komme ut og dele historien min med dere alle. Jeg vet at denne nyheten kan komme som en overraskelse for noen av dere, og at det kan være vanskelig å forstå. Det er greit hvis dere ikke forstår det med en gang, men det har tatt tid for meg å komme til dette punktet selv. Men jeg vil dele min historie med dere, for jeg tror at forståelse og aksept kan bringe oss nærmere hverandre. Jeg ble født som jente, men jeg har alltid følt at jeg var ment til å være gutt. I lang tid visste jeg ikke hvordan jeg skulle uttrykke dette, eller til og med sette ord på det. Jeg følte som om jeg var alene, som om det var noe galt med meg. Men etter hvert som jeg ble eldre og lærte mer om kjønnsidentitet og andre transpersoners erfaringer, slik som Miles McKenna, begynte jeg å se at det er ikke noe galt med meg i det hele tatt. Jeg var bare annerledes. Det er greit. Å komme som trans har vært noe av det vanskeligste jeg noen gang har gjort. Men det har også vært noe av det mest befriende. Jeg trenger ikke lenger skjule hvem jeg er, eller late som jeg er noe jeg ikke er. Jeg kan endelig være meg selv, og det er den mest fantastiske følelsen i verden. Jeg vet at den reisen ikke blir lett, og det vil være utfordringer underveis. Men jeg er fast bestemt på å leve livet mitt som mitt sånn jeg. Jeg håper du kan støtte meg på denne reisen. Jeg vil takke dere for at dere tok dere tid til å lytte til historien min, og for at dere er en del av livet mitt. Jeg håper at vi kan fortsette å ha en sterk og meningsfylt forhold mens vi går fremover. Jeg vet at dette er en stor endring, og det kan ta litt tid før du tilpasser den nye meg. Jeg forsikrer meg dere at jeg er fortsatt den samme personen jeg alltid har vært. Med de samme interessene, ting jeg liker og misliker. Det eneste som har forandret seg, er at jeg nå lever som min sanne jeg. Her er innlegget jeg skrev på Facebook. Så, jeg vet først og fremst ikke hvorfor jeg skriver dette, men jeg føler meg i alle fall trygg nok til å på en måte komme ut med dette til dere. Jeg har i flere år enn jeg kan huske slippe både min egen legning og kroppen min. Før jeg i en alder av 18 synes det var greit for meg å like jenter, mens nå, i en alder av 25, er det mer enn greit for meg å like jenter. Tenkte da, siden jeg slet med å akseptere meg selv, så var det ingenting annet som var galt med meg. Men nei, det var det altså ikke. De siste årene har jeg følt at jeg kanskje er født i feil kropp, noe jeg snakker med nære venner om. Men nå i det siste har jeg tenkt mer og mer på det, jeg føler meg usikker at trans passer meg så mye bedre. Men jeg aner seriøst ikke hva jeg skal gjøre. Jeg klarer ikke å tenke på noe annet. Ingen andre enn dere nå vet hvordan jeg har det. Jeg aner virkelig ikke hva jeg skal gjøre for å bli lykkelig med meg selv. Snakket med kjæresten min om det, og hun kom med ganske mange gode spørsmål som fikk meg til å tenke på om jeg virkelig vil gjennom det. Og det vil jeg. Kan jeg være så snill å kalle meg Leon, og bruke pronomen han? Her kommer noen kloke ord fra Miles McKenna. Og ja, bruke deadnamet mitt. Takk for at du så på. Så ses vi snart.
Hey, what's up, Ingrid? It's Miles. I don't know if I look trash right now, but Cameo does this thing where it like zooms you. So I'm just like, no, hi. So you asked me how would I help someone come out as a trans person, and that's interesting. That's an interesting question, and differently worded than I think other people have asked me something similar. I would say getting them support. The number one most important thing is having support around you. So I think I would guide them to ways that I know that you can get support, either tools to gain them in your community, because I don't know, like I don't know where you live, I don't know where this person lives, you know, hypothetically, and ways to get support through the internet that I know can work wherever you are. Those would be like the trevorproject.org. They've got a number that you can call 24/7, a number you can text 24/7, and a messaging system on their like website on the trevorproject.org/help, where you can talk to an LGBT counselor about anything about, I think I'm gay, I'm gonna come out, or you know, I just came out as trans, my mom said this, and like this is messing with me. You know, you can get that kind of affirming instant support from someone who is outside of it, so but is also knowledgeable, or not is knowledgeable a word, it's just like has information about this subject, because I think sometimes it's hard where, you know, you have this core group of friends, maybe they're not trans or they don't come from this experience, and it's like, you know, oh, they support you, but they don't know the experience, so you kind of have to be a teacher to them in ways and kind of, you know, tell them how to talk to you in a certain way, or how to approach, you know, when they mess up your pronouns, and you kind of have to be a teacher for people. and this is someone that you don't have to teach. It's like someone that already gets it, they're already in it, and it's like they, you know, are hired to help, you know, trans youth. So it's like, okay, perfect, like I need that support, I need to deal with this, you know, I can get this instantly online without having, you know, to go through my insurance and figure out a gender therapist, which is something else that I would recommend to that person. You know, gender therapy is kind of coined with, oh, like someone needing to get on hormones, and so they, you know, talk to a gender therapist, or wanting to get a surgery, so they talk to a gender therapist. But really, it's just someone, even like when they're still in the point of like thinking that they're cis, but they just think something's going on with their gender, they talk to someone who, again, is educated in it and is in that world, and you can have open discussion with. I've had gender therapists that are cis and that are straight. I've had gender therapists that are queer. I've had gender therapists that are trans men, and, you know, it's all the same. It's just like someone who is just like so educated, like, you know, in one, being a therapist, and two, with like gender history and like, you know, your mind. So that's something that I would point that person to. And a way to do that is going to an LGBT center, which is also a place to get support and like a lot of community and like communal support. Going to lgbtcenters.org, I believe. That's a website that's set up by a company called Centerlink, where it shows you all the LGBT centers in America, and I think also in Canada, but wherever you live, like you can just Google like LGBT centers in Brighton, England, or wherever. And even if there isn't one in your area, you can go on their website, you can call them. A lot of times they'll have stuff set up through Zoom, or, you know, they'll know stuff that's going on in your area, or like maybe they have kids that like visit them on like bisexual nights on Tuesdays where they all watch movies, and they, you know, they know kids that drive and like commute from your area to like Columbus, Ohio, but you live outside of Columbus. Like, you know, just kind of getting information about these structures and these companies that were built to help trans youth figure themselves out, or to get community. I'd say that, like, very that. And when it comes to like the actual coming out portion, sorry if I'm out of breath. When it comes to the coming out portion, I mean, I was thinking about your question. Something that really helped me with coming out to like my mom specifically is I kind of went into it thinking about the things that she could say, and like, oh, you're not a guy, or oh, you know, whatever. And the attitude that I kind of took towards it was, that's all arbitrary. That's all not what we're talking about. Because whether or not you think, oh, I'm gonna go to hell, or oh, I'm not a guy, or like whatever you have to say is irrelevant to the conversation. Because what are we here to do? What we're here to do is for me to come out to you, and all your thoughts on it are just irrelevant, because it's like, this is what's happening. And I think that's something that I actually said to her. I think I brought up something about like, I was like, I know, like, you know, you gave birth to like this gender, but this is what's happening, is like what I said. Like, the train is moving. This is what's going on, you know? So I think that that's advice that I would give to like my younger self. It's just like, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. You are this. And you know, if you've figured it out, and if you haven't figured it out, then what I said in the beginning, that is like your communal support, which is like reaching out to LGBT centers, gender therapists, and you know, resources like the Trevor Project. They're gonna help you get to a place of figuring out your gender identity and gender expression, because that's what a lot of those structures are put in place to do, you know? So that's what I'd say. Get community, reach out to structures in your community, and know that once you know that you're trans, because the question is, how do you help someone come out, to not figure out, but to come out, it's like, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. And any thoughts on it and any feelings towards it is irrelevant, because this is what is happening, you know? And that's something that you can say too to like other trans people, because I know a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm trans, but I don't want to get on hormones, or I don't want to do this, and other trans people will be like, but you have to. It's like, no, this is what's happening. This is me. I think that's the thing. It's like, being trans is just human. It's just you figuring out something about yourself and who you are, and how you know, interact with your environment, and how you feel and how you like to feel. And it's just, do what makes you feel the most you know? But get communal support, reach out to people, and there are people there that see you. And also, another thing on the Trevor Project is they have the Trevor Space, which is like their own Twitter/Discord, but it's on their servers. So there's not going to be like fear of getting outed, like, because, you know, if you're not out to everyone, and not getting like hate speech or anything like you can if you're like exposing yourself on like any other like social media platform. But this is just for LGBT people and allies ages, I think 12 to 23, maybe 24, but it's like monitored, and you can like just make community and friends, and you can start like message boards of like, I just came out as trans and I live in Minnesota, and then, you know, all the other trans kids in Minnesota will see that and be like, oh my god, like, do you go to blah blah blah? So just get support, because it is there and you just need it. And that was something one of my first gender therapists said to me. They're like, the first 2 years from like starting to socially transition, you need a therapist, because there's so much that's changing in your life and you just need someone to help you figure it all out. So that's my advice to you. Sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you later.